Good morning, Midnight Coders. This is another live stream with me, your host, Glave. Also, my cat sitting in a chair. So, hope your weekend is going well, everybody. I hope everybody's off to a good weekend, and hope that the holidays are going to be good for you. So, in today's stream, we are going to double check our RuneHero. So in a previous, one of the previous videos we've done, we added the ability to fire make. We added the ability so that people can light fires, and when they light a fire, if the area that the person is in has a campfire, there should be a roast option to be able to cook food. So for example, we should be able to go to Karamja, fish some lobster, light a fire, and then cook some lobster. So in today's video, we're going to make sure we can do that. When we do it, once we're done that, if everything is good and we are able to light a fire and cook food, we're going to move to Lumbridge. And we're gonna make it so that you can go to the Lumbridge furnace with some ore, and you can smelt metal bars, or smelt metal bars. Metal bars. I need more coffee. So yeah, we're gonna double check our fire making and then move on to some blacksmithing. That should be fun. There's gonna be lots of new stuff to write in because we don't have any support for blacksmithing right now, other than the fact that the skill name is mentioned in the skill tree, which is the other detail, come to think of it, that we're going to need to double check, is to make sure that our fire making skill is in fact going to show up on our skill tree. So, before we start our day, we need to make sure that we have the most important ingredient of our Java careers, that Java. Make sure you got that full cup of coffee, and let's dive on in. So here was our Discord bot as we left it. Sorry, this was my last stream. I had the midnight list. So we're gonna do /my_hero, check in on our hero. Ooh, what's this? What did I do? What did I do? I got promoted. No idea what the hell. Okay, so here we were level 25. Turns out that we've got enough experience to level up as well. So we got this little congratulations field saying that we've leveled up. So now we technically are level 25. Yay. Gained some money. Little bit of change. That's not bad. Got 500 XP. Got promoted. I am now a city guard. The Duke has asked me to watch over the city. He feel you are ready. There's a typo. He feel. So he feels you are ready for a bigger challenge other than the local drunks. So this, if you're wondering, this is whenever you get promoted, this is what the message says or pops up in the promotion area here. So it turns out that I had my Duke message was actually wrong. I wonder if I can... Jesus Christ. Alright, Eros, say hi to the peoples. Yeah, you're the one that jumped up on my lap. I know. Say hi to the peoples. Hello! Yep. This guy likes to jump up on my lap, as most of you know, or some of you know. He is my little coding buddy. Always up on my lap. Alright, so... So yeah, this is where we say the messages that come out, and I just happened to notice while doing this that there was a typo. So he feels like you're ready for a bigger challenge than just the local drunks. Than just the local drunks. Cool. Sweet. And I also got a casket. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. But I also got a casket here. Cool. And when I tried to do that, there actually was an error that printed. What happened there? Error response. Invalid form body. Cool, so I got a Discord error. That's always fun. Basically I got a null pointer. So I'll have to address that in the future, see what's up. But I want to open my casket. Yeah, okay, I can't open the casket. So we'll take a look at that later. Usually I can. It just seems like it's a one-off thing. But if I pop open my skill tree, we see that we are okay, we don't have I didn't add in fire making here yet. We do have blacksmithing. So if we explore, what do you mean I can't do what? I didn't think I was working. I'm not working, am I? No, I'm completed work. Yeah, I have completed my work. What are you talking about? Let me explore. There we go. So now we're exploring. We're in Varrock. That's not where I want it to be, was it? What was I looking to do? What do I have in my backpack? See if I can take my casket now. Yeah, now you let me take my casket. Whatever. So, backpack, I have a tinder box. So, I need to go to the... I gotta go to Lumbridge for a minute. I can pop into good old Bob's Axes. And get myself an iron axe. So I can go chop down a tree. Get myself a log. Whoops. Oh, there we go. I did get a log. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to... What am I doing? What's my fishing level? Can I fish a lobster? No, I can't. Too noob to do that. Oh. Okay. Apparently I'm too newbie to do that. So let's just go see if we can light a fire. Because like this will say this shouldn't say cook. This should actually say like start fire or burn fire, or I forget what I told it to do. But let's go explore somewhere that doesn't have... Let's go to Port Sarin. Jump on the port. We're gonna head to Mussa Point. Oh, I can't light a campfire here in Muscle Point. I can get some lobsters, but I can't light a fire. Why can't I light a fire? Where was it that I was that I could light a fire? I forget where I was. Can I in the dungeon? There we go, campfire. Look at that. I can light a fire in a dungeon. So here we see burn logs. If I click on burn logs, it gives me the option to select some logs to burn. Oh, I should have brought more than one because there is a fail chance. Shoot. Well, turns out I failed. I failed to light them. And now I don't have any more logs to burn. Shoot. Yeah, I totally should have grabbed more logs. Is there any trees here that I can chop down? See, that's the other thing I should have done, was I should have added some trees into here that I could chop down too, because I believe there are some trees in Ramja. Alright, looks like I am traveling back. Wait, why am I going further in the dungeon? Ramja dungeon. Muscle Point. Oh, chop down a couple of trees. Okay, so I did. I was in a dungeon. There's nothing in a dungeon. So we're gonna get a couple of logs this time. It's 1, 2. Leveled up wood cutting. Okay, that's an okay amount of logs. Now we're gonna go back into the dungeon. I really need to add fire making here too. So we're gonna try to burn logs again. And we failed. Failed to burn the logs. Let's try this again. Attempting and failed. Attempting and failed. Oh my god, this sounds like my life. Attempting and failed. Attempting and failed. Oh my god. Did I get it? So this one says that I'm currently in here, so I think that means technically I lit it. Because it doesn't say that I failed. But it's not updating. Okay, so looks like it might not be working as we expected. So now it's time to make sure again that we've got this cup of coffee, and we're gonna dive into some code. Alrighty-o. So let's take a look-see and find out why we're not burning things. Okay, so this, I believe, is in the bot. Let's just... Jeepers, cat. Shake your head at me like that. Alright, we are looking for... Failed to light logs. Okay. Okay, so wait, was there a printout about adding a fire? Yeah, so I did successfully light the log. Because it did print out that I did get some fire making XP. Which is this printout here. Okay. So we did that. This should have been set to true. And then we updated the record, which we see here. There was an updated record. Update. Okay, so after I set this, call the update hero, which goes through and prints out the updated hero record for blah 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 with status blah blah blah. And why did that print twice? Why, oh why did that print twice if I'm only calling it once? Because between the printout for adding experience and the printout for updating, there's only one time that I'm updating the actual record. There's two printouts that come in at the exact same time. So why did this get called twice? Interesting. So I'm gonna pop open to my database viewer so that I can double check my hero profile because I want to see here. And this looks funky due to the zoom on my, 'cause it appears that when I zoom in the text, it doesn't zoom in. Let me just zoom this out so that it sort of makes sense to me. Alright, and I'm looking for fire making XP. Never got updated. Or it got overridden. I don't know because it happened twice. Same thing with lit fire at current location is set to true. Okay. So this shouldn't be saying burn. Okay, so maybe the buttons. Okay, so let's go back to here, into here. This is being set to true like it should be. Here. So now my add skill XP. Ah, this is why. This is why it never actually updated. Oh, and this is why, because it updates the hero here after it adds the XP, so that explains the double call. Okay. So let's duplicate this because I was missing fire making. Okay, so profile, fire making XP is equal to fire making plus the XP gained. And I really need to run over this and clean this up and do this a lot better. This was off the cuff, and it's the reason why I've got a giant switch statement to do basically the repetitive action. I will clean that up in the future. I was just curious, or I was just doing that. So here we're setting the fire making XP, so that should actually update my fire making XP. This is, in fact, this, so now we're loading the hero. We're doing the explore region, so it should be loading up this. Okay. So this should be loading up the Hero Explorer interface afterwards, so it essentially refreshes, which is why it says so-and-so is currently in, and then it, in my case, it says Karamja Dungeon. However, when we scroll down for... This is why. No, because that just simply states the cooking resource. Okay, no, so... Yeah, so it is just because I'm grabbing the skill location buttons. And if the current location has cooking, it looks to see if it has campfire cooking, which it does. And if our campfire here, and if the current location doesn't have a campfire lit, that's when it sets it up to burn logs, or to be burn logs. So that's when we see the option to burn logs if the campfire is not lit. Otherwise, if the campfire is lit, it's supposed to be saying roast. So now this is defaulting to here. Okay. This actually has one override inside the. Oh, it's only overridden in the mining guild. Okay, so that explains it. That explains it. So I need to override this everywhere the campfire is used. Yikes. Okay. That's not what I wanted. So it's used in the mining guild. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Just gonna make this a little bit easier on myself. This has a campfire, so we're just gonna slap this guy in here. So that's good. Barbarian village. Pop this in here. Ferox sewer. Drop it in here. Sorry about this, guys. This is just going to take me a second to slap this everywhere that there is a campfire. Okay, is that everywhere? It's used just 10 places? Okay, so now if we... This is also a really weird thing that I've encountered. And I don't know why this is. If somebody can give me an answer, that'd be great. But ever since I upgraded my IntelliJ, this project, and this project only, if I come in here, and if I were to just, if I were to just try to straight out run this, it doesn't build. So now that I got everything stopped, let me show you what I mean. If I come in here and I run a project clean, okay. Now, I would expect when I go to rerun my bot or rerun my program, based off of the fact that my application and my Spring Boot configurations and all of this state build and run, and like before each task there is legit like the build task. Doesn't matter. I can come down here, try to run this, and it's going to come out and say that it failed because it couldn't find the main class. Really weird issue. But if I come up here and manually run the build script, Let it do its thing. Okay, so it built the project. Everything's good. So now if I come back in here and try to run this, everything's fine. It's as if, for some reason, for this project and this project alone, because my other projects don't do this. My other projects build properly. This one, I have to shut everything down and rerun a clean build because the project won't rebuild itself. So even if I change code and rerun the project, I'm still running on the already pre-compiled code because it's as if it won't recompile once it's already been compiled. And it's only this project. Again, my other projects work fine. Every time I hit the button, I always see the build script coming up here or the build run, and it's just so weird. So weird. All right, so let's pop back to see our Discord bot, and I'm gonna pop back into my area, which because I have a campfire lit in this area, it now gives me the option to roast, and let me select my cooking source. What? No. What? No way. So if it says roast, I'm supposed to be using the cooking action, which is the same thing when I click on cook. So if I look for this, interesting. So where's my button at that's looking for this? Like, why are you not finding the button? Oh, so now I gotta go into the button and look for the button. Source, main, Java, Discord, buttons. Yeah, cook. No way. I do not have that option when what? Okay, let's go back to the Lumbridge, because now I'm... Oh yeah, I do want to double check that if I go back into that dungeon that campfire's no... Yeah, okay, good, so it does reset. Shit, not hero. Travel. Masa. Travel. No, ports. Serum. This says cook with a cooking range, and if I click on this, select the cooking source. Since when do I have select a cooking source? Like, I used to be able to just cook fish, no problem. In Lumbridge. Now I've got this select a cooking source? Okay. select the cooking source. Okay. And now it says preparing to cook. And it brings up the new cooking activity to execute the skill session. What? Okay, and it updates the hero record, which... Okay, whoop. Oh, don't want you. Okay, so this just comes... So this should be telling me that real item is null. Yeah, real item is null. Throw an error there, or do I want to... Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna throw an error there. But, okay. Should be coming back with... Okay, and then the cooking activity is... This real item is null. Yeah, so... That's because this... Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take that out of it. And instead of throwing this, I'm just going to return null there, so that my hero can handle this. Okay, so cooking activity. Okay, so let's stop everything again. Team build. Sorry, trying this again. Just a little confusion there. We're trying this again. If I click on cook, it says select a source. If I click on that, it tells me that I don't have anything to cook. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Now if I try to cook and I don't have anything, it tells me that I've got nothing to cook. So, where the hell am I? Port Sarum. Market. Fishery. Give me a fishing rod, I suppose. Give me a rod. Try and catch a few pike. Leveled up my fishing. Alright, we'll stop that. And I'm gonna go back to explore. Oop, no, I don't want. Okay, so cook. Cooking source. And now I'm just gonna start cooking. As we see here, the fish starts getting cooked and burnt. So we'll stop that. Explore. Travel. Actually, no, we'll do ports. Travel to Mussa Point again. Go into the dungeon. Struggle to light a fire. Oh shit, lit. First go. Look at that. So now we're gonna roast on a campfire. And our cooking and whatnot works. Perfect. So now we can train fire making, and so now we have a purpose for cutting logs. Cool. So now the next thing that we're looking to do, let's dip out of Discord. So the next thing that we're looking to do here would be to add some ability to be able to smelt ores, I guess, is going to be our next mission. So, let's get rid of everything here and figure out where this is. So, actually, let's, I still don't have this on my skill menu to tell me what my, fire making XP and whatnot is. So let me... So this goes somewhere. No, that's on the fucking admin panel. Where is my skill? There it is. So if I duplicate this guy and say fire making and get fire making experience, that should update it to here. Although we're not going to have a fire making emoji, so we'll have to get one of those later. I'm not very skilled graphically, so I'm not going to be the one to make it. I'm going to see if I can get a friend of mine to make it, or I may or may not try to butcher the existing fire emoji and make it into a fire campfire looking thing. So I'll probably take. I'm going to be tackling that later on today. Not right now, because quite frankly, my graphical abilities are so embarrassing. I'd rather not do that on live stream. All right, so once again, this is annoying. We're gonna stop everything. Back into Gradle. Give ourselves a clean build. Alright. So now I'm going to... Wait, nope, not run the bot, not run the bot. Run the back end first. Then run the bot. Now if I click on skills... If I click on skills, we have fire making! So here you'll see that because I don't have an emoji with it, it gives the default PVM. That's a default that I had set up 2 years ago. The idea was that if I didn't have one, it would give a default, which in my case is this PVM looking emoji. So I'll add in a new emoji to that later. But now, get player total level. So total level is apparently at the moment not including blacksmithing. So we want to include blacksmithing. Include blacksmithing. And we also want to include our fire making. And I'm going to copy that, come down here, and we're going to paste that here as well. Except this is just going to be that. All right. And also, for the sake of my own sanity, I like lining this up. I like to line this up so that it looks good. I don't know what I was thinking back in the day when I did this, so I'm just doing it now. I personally think it makes it easier to follow along with what alignment. Okay, so clean that up, do that. Congratulations, you did this. Where else are we looking for experience? Okay. That'll take care of it, including fire making and blacksmithing. Into the total level. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, so that takes care of... Does that take care of all of that? I think that takes care of everything. No, dude, no. For this project here, I did not use any AI in it except for the dashboard to generate some HTML, JavaScript, and other files that I felt lazy doing. This project here was handwritten. There was, again, only the dashboard contains anything that has AI. Everything else was handwritten. I started this project in 2023. Yeah, 2023, 2022 era. And it was all just No, none of it. Again, only AI is in here. I don't actually use AI to do code. I've been writing code since early 2000s, and I got into it more professionally in 2007, 2008-ish. Um, and no, I I got an issue with using AI for coding. It doesn't teach you anything, nor does it satisfy anything. It basically just tells you what you want to hear. I don't know. I got an issue with using it to write code for me. I'll use it to generate some Java docs that I don't want to write based on my code, or I'll use it to do like some JavaScript because I'm a little rusty, or I'll use it to do CSS because I absolutely hate CSS. And I'll maybe use it to generate me an HTML file that I'm lazy to do the initial bits of. But other than that, I love Java too much to let AI do it for me. Um, yeah, no. To answer that question for you, sorry if I said that name wrong. But no, Poria, I did not use AI for coding this project. I only used it in the. I used it for my Midnight CSS to generate me a sort of Midnight Coder style thing that I've been kind of running with. I used it to do this JavaScript because my JavaScript, it was rusty and I did not feel like writing a lot. I went through and made some changes afterward, but no, I don't. I also used it for, like, again, the admin side of side of the dashboard, but like everything else was painfully handwritten. I do a lot of live streaming like this where I will my live streams are not tailored towards like new developers. They're more tailored towards junior developers that have an understanding of what Java is, but they want to go that next level and they want to know like how actual production systems work, how like things actually interact with each other. Um, Most of my live streams are tailored more towards people who have a Java experience and want to go that extra mile. I have some pre-recorded videos where I target more lower level or higher level, however you want to look at it, aspects, and where I touch on more basic like things. But no, I'm an old dog, and AI is very much a new trick. I didn't even start using AI at all until like I think it was like a year ago when I first actually took a swing at using AI, and it was my Midnight Technician program that I live streamed. Um, and that was the first time I used AI to do the shit that I was too lazy for, like doing CSS and HTML files that I wanted in a specific way. And it led to me writing, I think it was like a 2-paragraph prompt to be specific as hell about what I wanted in it, because I just have that engineering mindset that like I know exactly what I want, and I didn't want to take the 4 hours to write it out myself. Um, but yeah, no, I'm still trying to figure out AI. I don't know. I don't I don't personally like AI for doing code or like starting out with projects or any of that stuff. Um, I much prefer it for the sake of like writing documents that I don't want to write, or writing long CSS that makes me cringe. Um, I love Java as a language too much to let somebody else do it. It's kind of like I love driving my car too much to let anybody else drive it for me. Like it's just one of those things that like I don't know. I could let somebody else drive, but then I just feel bored. So I'd much rather do it myself. That speaking of which, now we need to add in the blacksmithing skill. So let's go. Do I believe it's in my bot? Been a while since I've added a skill. Okay. So I guess the first thing I need to do is add in locations needs to be able to support having some blacksmithing stuff. What am I got here? So I got local mobs, trees, rocks, fishing skills, cooking sources. Neighbors, ports, and yada yada. So cooking sources, I might need to add in cooking source. Fat fish, equipment, trees, pay props. I suppose to follow suit with what I did there, I may need to make a furnace. Then I'm gonna have to make something for anvils, and I don't want to do that. Can I just add in? Oh, what do I want to add here? Because I want to add in a blacksmithing source, so to speak. But I want to be able to add in a furnace and a anvil. What is the name of a blacksmith's area? Like, what is the... I know there's a technical name for it. What is the name of a blacksmither's area? Let's go. What is... Oh, there we go. I could just call it a forge. Yeah, I knew there was a word. Just totally fucking left my mind. Cool, let's go with a forge. And we'll stick in a range, or a furnace and an anvil. Cool, yeah, that kind of, sort of works, maybe. Sure. Stick in a Lombok getter. So yeah. Hold this off screen for a second while I log in. Mm, go. Just wanted to pop that off screen while I logged in. What I'm looking for here is trying to figure out, not bot, emojis. I know I've got one in here. Okay, so I do have one called Furnace. And do I have an anvil? I do not have an anvil in here. Really? Oh, I do. I just called it blacksmith. What? Okay. Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. I guess I'm calling that blacksmith. Smith, furnace. Sure, I'm okay with that, I guess. Kinda, sorta. Um, that's all I need for the forge. Shit. So we're gonna duplicate this. Make this a forge. Get local forges. Yeah, that works for me. Shit. So what else did I do? As cooking. Okay, so that is this to this. Duplicate this. Get. That's about right. Yeah, okay, cool. I think that's about right. So now I need to go into each of the actual locations. Yikes. Oh, fishing, cooking, local cooking sources. Duplicate that. El Carrot has a forge. Yeah, it does. Oh shit, what am I doing? El Carrot has one. Barbarian Village doesn't. Maybe it's a null, I don't know. Don't have it. Brandor. You don't. Raynor does not. Edgeville. I feel like Edgeville does. I think it's next to the bank. I feel like it does. Enchant. Rana. I don't think it does. Baldor does. Goblin Village does not. Ice Mountain does not. Oh, shit. So it is River Turn. Oh, son of a bitch. Really? Copy you. Good and forgot that I was doing it that way. Not null. Actually, returning the list for the empty. It's an empty list, or maybe it is null in itself. I don't fucking remember. Okay, cool. So back into the Lumbridge. Lumbridge does. So we'll. Nope, not you. Wrong one. Lumbridge. Shit. Which does. Support that. Massa Point does not. Copy that guy fresh. Okay, so Port Sarum does not have a forge. Remington, I don't think has a forge either. Tavern is not. Tavern is not going to have one. Tavern is something that's something else I'm going to be adding in later. Varrock. You have an anvil. Does Varrock have a furnace? Or just an anvil? I can't remember if Varrock has a furnace or just an anvil. I feel like it's just an anvil. I can't remember if Varrock Sewer has a has an anvil somewhere along it as well or not. I'll have to look that up. But for now, I am just going to fill up the sewer with no anvil. Or no forge. Same thing with here. Ramja. Or Krandorf. Valdor Mining Guild. Again, I can't remember if Valdor Mining Guild has a thing or not. Okay. Okay, so let's stop everything. Give it a clean build. And I'm curious if I got everything or if I'm still missing. Okay. So now if I come back and run the back end, run the bot, we go take a look at the bot. Pop into here, pop into here. Oh, okay, so going back to Mossa Point. Gonna jump back to Port Sarim. I'm gonna travel to Valdor has one. Cool. Didn't get added to the utilities though. So I forgot something. What did I forget? Okay, let's close out of the mess of everything there. Boolean check, okay. So where are we checking here? Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, I am looking for that. So let's... Okay, so... that should be good for it. Yeah, so this should be fine for that. Should add the blacksmithing and the embed manager. Okay, so I do need the button down here. So if current has local foraging, we're gonna have a skilling button, primary. Um, um, okay, so I want to check here to see if technically the local area, um, get local forges, contains furnace. Yep, I'm adding that. Then duplicating this. Shit. Duplicate that. Smithing. Change that to smithing, and we'll change this to blacksmith. Okay. So this should be if the local area has foraging, then we're going to check to see if it has a furnace or an anvil. And based on whether or not it's got furnace or anvil, it's going to add in the button appropriate. If it can add in both, if it has both, yeah, and we'll see where that goes. So go up here, kill it off, come into here. I hate it. Not jar, not jar, not jar. Okay, whatever. Do a clean. Do a build. Okay. So now we'll come back in here, run the back end, run the bot. I realize you can't see what I'm doing. I got the screen up in the way. Whoops. Sorry. But okay, so now if I travel travel to Ice Mountain, travel back to Faldor. Now we have the option of a furnace and a blacksmith. What did I do there? Furnace and blacksmith. Hero Explorer. Let's see where I mislabeled this. Okay. So I got that messed up. So I'm adding the emoji, which is an anvil, to say that it's for smithing, which is the top part. But then when I'm listing the actual available, where's this at? Load the is it the Explorer one that's cooking with the cooking source? But then I got, yeah, so that adds it. Okay, that's what it is. This. Furnace. Okay, that's why. Shit. Okay. Okay, so I need to... Okay, so I want this to... Oh my god. I guess I could have just done it that way, technically. Okay, so... Source equals... Say... Furnace. Say that. Okay, so now... Stop everything. Clean. Build. This is just simply doing a quick little check to see if the type is of forge. And we're going to stick the furnace or like the actual forge emoji up there. Otherwise, if it's an anvil, we're going to stick an anvil because we want this to make somewhat sense. So if we come back in here, run the back end, and come over here and run the bot, and then we turn on the thingy. Okay, so now if I reload this embed by simply jumping out and jumping back in, we see that the furnace has a furnace and the anvil has blacksmith. What? Okay. Ah, source.get name. Okay, that's why. Okay, so... Okay. So let me go back into here. This is going to be... Make that better, and this is going to be... Anvil, because I don't believe it's actually used anywhere else. So OCD, I'm gonna stop. I realize you can't see what I just did. I do apologize. I just simply changed some text to be a little bit better. OCD. Okay. So I capitalized the furnace and I changed the word blacksmith to anvil since you're working on an anvil. So now we'll pop back over, we'll rerun the back end and wait for it to turn on. There we go. Now we're gonna run the bot. Leave the area, come back into the area. There it is. Furnace and anvil. So now it looks, in my opinion, a little bit better. And I have the two buttons so that I can choose whether I want to smelt or smith. So the next step is to make those buttons work. So now we need to get rid of this. Pop back into here. I'm going to close out a few of these. We're going to go into the Discord aspect because we need to add a new button. We need to add a new listener to our buttons. And then we're going to add a new select menu. So, what did I call those buttons? Smith and Smith. Oh, shoot. Is this where I was looking at? No. I call it? Button.create? No. Where in the actually, let's just go into see where I used it. Button. Panes of furnace, add the button. There's the button names. Select skill, smithing, smelting. Okay, let's go with smelting first, I suppose. So we're gonna have another horrible decision down here. And this is going to be smelt. Oh my. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And I'll leave that. Actually, I'm gonna leave the smithing one part out. So now we'll do this. We'll create this. So we go into our implementations. Do not cut. What the f... Okay, whatever. Accidentally hit cut. Oops. Okay, so this is going to be the blacksmith smelt button. Yes, that makes that happy. So now there we go. So that should handle that. Make that happy. Boom. Okay. So now we got to come in here and figure out what we're doing. Very much like everything else, I'm straight up going to copy this guy's code. Okay, so make sure the button is not there. This is going to take over the smelting, so that I get the right thing. The owner is going to be this, so I need 0 client, and I need interaction I. So now when we're going to strip this to get the ID of the user that the button was generated for. So that's why I do this. So it's select the underscore, and we tack on the Discord ID of the person that the button was made for. So now when I come in here, I basically strip that away so that I'm left with just the Discord ID right here. And I then wrap that into or make that into a long by parsing it. And now here, I make a quick check to see if these two objects are equal. The ID number and the person that actually clicked the button. So if whoever the button was made for is the person who clicked on it, we're going to go ahead and do something. Otherwise, we're going to tell them that, yo, this is not your interaction. So this little snippet we're going to get rid of because this is where we're going to actually do something. In this case, we want to we're going to want to do a little bit of validation, I think. What did I do with the burn log? Yeah, I did a little bit of validation to make sure they had the items they said they had, and then we populated. Okay, so that's what I'm looking to do here. So, make sure the hero has items to smelt. Make sure the hero has the level Well, no, not making sure they have a level. Loop over the back items. Items. There. A list of bars. Yeah, bars that and made. And then from there, I'm going to want to create a string select menu. I think that's what I'm looking to do here. So we're gonna first off make sure that the user has something to do. I'm gonna need to make a way of defining what a bar is. And when I define what a bar is, I do want to be able to some bars require one ore, some bars like iron, some bars require two, like steel, bronze, and everything else. Okay, so I want to create a way that I can define what a bar is and the items that are required to make it, as well as for iron, which is going to be a unique thing on its own. I need to take in the chance of failure. Okay. How do I want this to look? Am I gonna wind up just doing another shitty... Oh, how do I need to do this? Where do I want to put this? How do I want to do it? Oh, I probably should have thought this through. Okay, so... don't necessarily want to just keep slapping in enums and... what about, I'll make sure that I have the items. So that's gonna define... shit. Oh. this and that are going to be containing multiple things contained too, and I don't have any way to check to see if a user has this and this. I need to make another way to. Need to make another way to feel if I have to search for items. No. This and if they this, they don't. Okay, so for each item, it's not gonna work. I can't loop over each item because that's. However, if I was to create a bar and then loop over each bar, check to see if the player has the available items, then I can add that bar to a list. And that can be the list of available bars that can be smelted. Then I can populate a list from there. Okay, so if I don't want to use another enum for this, but I'm gonna have to. Bar name, bar experience, fail chance. Okay, I guess I'm doing an enum. Not that I want to. Oh, okay. Where am I gonna stick this? Not a prop. Guess it is gonna go in a item. So I'm gonna stick it in an items. Yeah, good try, good guess, but you're missing a couple there. Hella sense. Whatever that is. Yeah. We're missing bronze. Okay, and now I need some information in here. Gonna string. Okay, so what do I need? Maybe this is gonna be easier to just come down here and create. Okay, so I think that's what I want to run with. I want to give it a name, an ID, so that I know what item I'm giving back as the result. I want to know the required level. So bar name, bar ID, required level, success chance, XP rewarded, and the items required to make it. I think that's everything. I think. Wow, I like how it filled that in too. Okay, so this is going to be bronze bar. Do I really need? Oh, I suppose it's easier that way. Bar ID, item ID, bronze bar. Required level is going to be 1. Success chance, I'm going to say, is also 1. Experience rewarded. No idea. I got to look that up on RuneScape wiki. And this is going to be the new int array of tin and copper. Okay. That about sounds right for that. Sure, let's see what that ultimately looks like. Okay. I'm just doing some touch-ups here so that it looks better on my end, so to speak. Okay, so this is adamant ore, and this is rune ore. Yeah. Cool. Then now I need the wiki. I needs the RuneScape wiki. Pop into here and look into smithing. Interesting. Okay, so I also ignored blue, right? And silver. Okay, well, this is 15. Steel is 30. Oh, gold I also missed. So there was blue, right? Silver. I don't know if I'm going to use the elemental one or lead, because I have no sweet clue what lead is used for. Steel, we're looking to add in gold I missed. Old School added some new stuff for sailing, I see. Interesting. So then we got Mithril, Adamant, and Rune. Okay, so Mithril is 50. Adamant is 7. Yeah, 40. 70. And Runite is 85. Iron has a 0.5% success rate, I must say. So we'll try and line this stuff up a little better. And now the XP rewards. I've got... Oh, this is supposed to be a double value as well. Okay. The reward is 6.2. Iron is 12.5. Steel is 17.5. Mithril is 30. Adamant is 37.5. And Runite is 50. Cool. Cool. Okay. So that takes care of this. Let's again line this up so that my OCD is happy. Go. There we go. So now that's going to make my life a little bit easier. I am going to slap a getter on here so that I can get these just with the use of Lombok. I don't usually like Lombok, but in this case, we'll say it's alright. Okay. So there's our metal bars. So now I want to so I'm going to start off up here with making a list of available bars that I can actually make. Next is to loop over metal bars dot values, and I'm going to make a stream on this one so that I can do a for each. So we're going to stream these bad boys. I want to check out for each bar. Here's where I want to see if so I want to make a copy of the hero, I suppose, here. That's not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to make a copy of the hero. I want to make their backpack. Hero backpack. And I want to check if backpack has item Yeah, okay, we'll say has item. Bar dot. Oh, excited. Need to check if the thing has two. Get required items. So we're going to check to see the required materials, and then we want to go, okay, for each, I'm just going to call these ores. So for each ore inside of the required material, if, yeah, pretty much, I want to get item amount of the ore is greater than this, and I want to add it to the backpack or add it to the available bars to make. So now that I have a list of bars that can be made, I need to make a selection menu for the player to choose from. So here's where we're going to make a new list of options. And this is going to be equal to a new array. And this is actually going to be options. Or is it a string select option? Or is it just a select option? Yeah, select option. Forgot what that was called. Okay, so now, yeah, that's basically what we're looking to do here. So we're looking to go over each of the bars to make. We just simply want to loop over them. And we're looking to see if for each metal bar, we're now going to add the option of the bar name. And then here is going to be the ID of the bar that we're selecting. So in my case, I'm just going to simply say bar.ordinal. And it's not going to like that, so I'm going to wrap that in a thing. So this is going to be the ID of the metal bar that we're looking to make. This is going to create an option or like a select menu that's going to say things like iron bar, that list us the name of the bars that we can make. And now we're going to come down here, and first off, if the options are empty, why would you do that? Not your interaction. Really, you're not that smart, AI. All right, so there we go. So here we're going to reply with an option telling the player that they don't have any bars to actually make. So now we know that we have a list of bars to make, but we want to make a new string select menu. There we go. So here's where we're creating a string select menu, and I should probably... There we go. So here's where we're creating the menu. I'm calling it the select bar to smelt, because that's what AutoSense came up with. And we're going to stick on the ID of the user. Now, the next thing that we also want to do is, there we go, we want a placeholder so that we can tell the person to select the bar to smelt. And then we're going to add in the options that we had before we build it. And then we are going to come down and we're going to be using our usual thing here. So we're actually going to say edit message, and the title is going to simply say that, you know, select the thing. And then we are set components to being that of the menu. Oh, no, that's not what we're doing. All right, so here we are going to var, where this is going to be existing rows, which is going to be equal not to that. I don't want that. No, I don't want that. I want this to be a new array list. Array list of action rows, and Jesus. That's not what I want to do! Screw off! I want to hit the fucking tab button. I hate the tab is the freaking option for that. Alright, so add... Not add all, like piss off. Get the first one, and get the second one. So I want the two rows, the buttons, and then I'm going to add on, and we're going to add on the new menu, select menu, and then we're going to take this, slap on this, as well as we're going to make sure to set the embed to what the current embed message is. I believe that is right. Yeah, okay. So this is a lot. This is a big ass method and probably should be broken down. I feel like this should probably be broken into like a method of itself where I just return an array list and pass in an ID. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna extract this to, what are we calling it? Get available bars. Yeah, get available bars. Okay, so that makes that look a little bit better. So we're going to get the available bars to make from here, and then we're going to grab the options based off of this, which I feel like... I guess that's not really needed because it's only like this long. Options, yeah, and then we're doing a check to see if there are no available options. You don't have any bars to smelt. Menu, create this, select the bar you want to smelt. Existing rows, that puts the two top rows and the select menu. That's what I want. Event. Yep, that's about looks about right. Okay, cool. So that's the blacksmithing button and the button list. Okay, so the button listener is that. So that should, in theory, give us a select menu now that we can then handle actions from. So if we were to yet again stop everything, God, this is frustrating. Do a clean. Do a build. Okay. So now we're going to run our back end and run our bot. We're going to go look at our bot. And if we click on the smelt button, we get a message that we don't have any bars to smelt. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So let's go and travel. Oop, we're going to go and travel to... Am I in Thaldor right now? Okay, so Barbarian Village, which through a conniption fit. Just through a conniption fit for looking for furnaces. I may have... Okay. Let's go look at Barbarian Village and see what I forgot to do. Okay. So... Is that really what I did? Oh my god. Alright, so we're gonna duplicate this. I don't know why I did this. We'll put this back to what it used to be. Gonna get rid of this, get rid of that. This line is gonna be gone. And this is going to be as local forging. Alright, so we'll turn this all off again. Yeah, it turns out I forgot that. So whenever we went to an area that didn't have forging, it threw a null. So let's try to build this again. Small little things. Okay, run the back end. Run the bot. Go look at the bot. We're just going to step out into our hero. We're going to step back into our explorer. We are now in Barbarian Village. Things are happy. So if we travel over to... I guess Varrock. So apparently I can't go down to Lumbridge from Draenor. Off to Lumbridge. Okay, and Lumbridge had a... Ah! Okay, so now we have another error. This error is due to a restriction within within Discord. This one here, I provided too many buttons. So where we're sticking in a smithing and a smelting button, like an anvil and a thing. Bring that up above my head. So I've provided 6 out of 5 buttons. So basically an array index out of bounds. No, I guess it's not basically that. I got a maximum that I can stick of 5, and I'm trying to stick 6, so it doesn't like that. Good to know. Good to know. So now I think I'm going to have to change my blacksmithing button to maybe just simply call it Smith, and then choose, or maybe call it blacksmith, and then I'm going to have to add a drop down. Do you want to smith or smelt? And then based on that, it's going to have to reply with the applicable. Ooh, okay. Design change. Arrgh. All right. Okay. Trying to rethink this now. Okay. Do I have enough time to do this? Shit. Do I have the time to do this right now? I don't think I do, because of what I've got, because of what I have to do. Okay. So, we're gonna call it end for today. We'll call this the end for today. We'll pick up more tomorrow, I guess. What do I got to go tomorrow? I might be able to get back to this a little later on today. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to for sure work on RuneHero. There may or may not be a spontaneous live stream later on today where I pick up a little more, because I do want to fix this this issue, and I want to square everything out, but I do want to do it on stream so other people can see the design struggles, and like the way we get around it, and the way I want to explain my thought process and whatnot, and like how kind of work it out. So if you're interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the notification bell turned on so that you'll know when I go live. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. If you would like to see a community project, by all means, let me know what you'd like to see. I typically like to go live and build systems, programs, backends, anything that you can kind of throw at me, I'll build it. If you happen to have a specific video that you want to learn to get covered on like a topic, like for example, there's a buddy that wants me to make a video about explaining a little more about lambdas and date time and things of that nature. So if you want to pitch me an idea for a video, by all means, I absolutely love to hear it. And if yeah, no, that's about everything. So make sure that you have that curiosity open. Keep your curiosity open. Keep your skills sharp. And make sure that coffee cup doesn't run out. That was cold. All right, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for hanging.